Hi Forge families, Danielle here, one of your yoga instructors from the Forge. I'm really excited to offer you a Flow Friday video full of hip openers. So opening our hips and using these different postures to do so allows for an opening and releasing of your low back. So really great for low back pain, as well as circulation, healthy circulation throughout the body. On a more emotional level, opening our hips helps us release any stagnant or unnecessary emotional energy through the emotional body. So hip openers are tough, they're sensational, but they do so much for our body and our soul. So I'm really excited to share these with you today. As always, these different postures, this little flow of sorts, is perfect for all levels. I'll definitely give you a few variations using some props, as well as some advancements to help you feel just a little bit more into the sensation of each pose. But as always, please consult a doctor before trying any new type of exercise. If you don't have a block at home, maybe consider using a book or some other little household item that you find, as some of these modifications will definitely be utilizing that block today. Other than that, all you need is your body and a willingness to breathe, move, and take a moment for yourself today. Let's get started. So we'll begin quickly just by warming up the hips, bringing some blood flow into the joint itself and creating a little bit of heat. We never want to sit in a stagnant stretch before creating heat in the area that we're stretching first, so that's what we'll do here. You can start in a tabletop pose and just slowly float your left leg to a 90-degree angle at your side, flexing firmly through your foot. And then gently lower it down. And we'll switch sides, floating your right knee up at a 90-degree angle. And back down. One more time, either side, inhaling as you lift your leg, keeping your knee in line with or higher than your ankle. And gently lower as you exhale. Keeping your shoulders squared towards your mat. Lift your right leg and breathe in. And gently lower to exhale. Begin to draw little circles with your hips here. This will really welcome blood flow into your joints. And then finding expansion in the front of the hips. Come to a kneeling Tadasana. Reaching your arms to the ceiling as you squeeze your glutes forward. And then gently finding a seat as you exhale. Spreading your knees open slightly with toes together. Crawl forward to a child's pose. A soft opening of the groin and hips here. Taking about 5 to 7 breaths here in child's pose. To ask for a little more sensation, you can crawl your hands backwards. Press down into your palms and forearms and push them forward as your seat melts deeply into your heels. Now keeping that root of your tail, crawl your arms and side body long. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. We always want to counter the flexion in our hips here. So taking a little rocking horse, keeping your toes next to your glutes, shift forward, deep breath in. And then gently fall backwards to your child's pose as you exhale. One more just like that to stretch through the front body. Little rocking horse, pushing the floor away as you inhale. And then sinking to a tabletop pose as you exhale. From here, we'll tuck our toes under and then float our hips to a downward facing dog. Slowly crawling your feet forward towards the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift and fold. Bringing your hands to your hip creases, push your hips back as you half lift and then rise. I'll face you for this. We'll take a Malasana. I'll show you a variation first, a little modification. So we'll go ahead and take that block, place it right in between our feet at any height. So the higher the height, the more the posture is modified. Facing your toes forward on either side of the block, nice and wide in your stance. Turning your toes out slightly. Bringing your hands to heart center. We'll sit all the way down onto our block here for Malasana. So again, we want to create heat in the hip joint before we really dive in to some deeper, more stagnant stretches. So taking your hands to the outsides of your thighs and pressing your legs back into your hands will help encourage some heat, strength, and circulation in the hip joint. If you're looking for a deeper expression in this pose, you can always take the block out from underneath you, sinking your hips low and lifting your heart high, utilizing your elbows to press your thighs away. Maybe closing your eyes over as you feel your torso begin to float up towards the ceiling. Holding for about 3 more breaths here. A little activation in the legs as they continue to guide backwards. 1 more breath in. And then hands to the earth, folding forward with your toes forward. Take a light little windshield wiper of your hips here. And then bringing your hands to your hip creases, halfway lift to rise. Reaching all the way to the ceiling, squeezing your glutes forward for this little counter pose. We'll take a lateral stretch up and over to the right as you exhale. Reaching to the ceiling, deep breath in. And a lateral stretch to the opposite side to breathe out. Reach up. And hands to heart center. We'll find one last hip opener here. Facing the front of your mat, sweep your arms towards the ceiling and fold all the way forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step your left foot back to a low lunge as you exhale. Dropping your back knee down. Begin to crawl your right foot over towards your left hand. Working into half pigeon pose here. So this can be quite sensational. This is a really deep hip opener. Some options to modify, maybe take a block underneath your right seat here to prop yourself up, softening the sensation in your outer hip. Another modification is to bend the back leg as well, both legs at 290-degree angles. And then wherever you choose to land, hi bud, wherever you choose to land, you'll lift up with a nice tall spine and then begin to fold forward. Taking about 3 to 5 breaths here. If you'd like additional sensation in this posture, tucking your back toes under, lifting your knee, and then pressing your hands forward and your left heel backwards will give you a deeper stretch in your outer right hip. Begin to crawl your hands back towards your shin. Kicking your right leg high, three-legged dog. Open and bend at your knee. Little counter action, maybe take some little circles of your thigh here. Downward facing dog. Crawling all the way to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift. Step your right leg back, low lunge. Drop your back knee to your mat, and then slowly crawl your left foot over towards your right. Another option to enhance this posture is to take a block between your right hip and left heel here. So this will encourage this parallel line of your shin and the top of your mat, as well as a squaring of your hips. And then from there, we'll fold with a long spine, relaxing any unnecessary tension in the face, neck, and shoulders. Continuing to soften with intention around your left hip. Maybe you'd like to take that enhancement by tucking your back toes under, pushing forward with your hands and back with your right heel. Crawling your hands back towards your shin. Removing any props, tucking your right toes under, kick your left leg high, inhale. And then bend and stack as you exhale. Maybe taking some light circles of your knee. And reversing the circle the opposite direction. And eventually finding a downward facing dog. Dropping your knees to the floor. And those are your little hip openers for today. All right, everyone, thank you so much for flowing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please check out The Forge's other social channels for more content just like this. You can also head over to our website at forgeparks.com to find out a little bit more about what the Forge Lamont Quarries has to offer you this summer. And aside from that, I think that adventure comes in endless forms, including right here on your yoga mat. Thank you so much for joining me today. So excited to see you in person this summer. Have a beautiful day.